We are on week 16, day 3 today, and we are going to learn the difference between fantasy and reality. We want to be able to know the difference so that when we pick up a book, we may not know which section in the library it comes from, but we'll be able to tell by reading the story so that we can pick the right kind of book that we want. Think about what can happen and what cannot happen. If we read something that could not happen or exist in real life, it's called fantasy. If we read something that could happen, then it's called reality. An example that cannot happen in real life would be a talking mouse or a house in the clouds. Those are examples of fantasy, things that could not really happen. All right. This article is called Professor the Cat. First of all, just from the name, do we have professors? What is a professor? It's a type of teacher, isn't it? Sometimes they call college teachers professors. And so it says Professor the Cat. Would we normally have a college teacher who is a cat? No, probably not. So that title makes me think that this might be a fantasy and not a real story. We're going to read this about an unusual cat and then figure out what would be real and what would be fantasy. Rosa's cat, Professor, looked like an ordinary cat. His fur was striped in gray and black, and his eyes were yellow and round. Okay, well, this says Rosa's cat Professor, so maybe the cat's name is just Professor. Because everything is sounding normal so far. His fur was stripped in gray and black, and his eyes were yellow and round. Professor meowed and scratched like most cats, and he liked to chase anything that moves. That sounds like a normal cat. That sounds real. One night, Professor sat on Rosa's desk. He watched Rosa struggle with her homework. Rosa yawned and rubbed her eyes. She could not stay awake to finish her homework. Rosa left the paper on her desk. She scratched Professor behind the ears and said good night. Soon Rosa was fast asleep and softly snoring. Well, all of this could happen, right? A girl could work on her homework and have trouble finishing it and go to bed. All that could happen. Professor looked at the arithmetic homework. Arithmetic means math. Arithmetic homework. With a proud meow, Professor picked up a pencil. Oh, now is that something real? Can cats pick up a pencil? The cat used his toes to count. Would cats be able to use their toes and count? The cat wrote in the answers and completed the page. Then Professor looked at Rosa and smiled. He liked being Rosa's friend. Okay, so most of this was reality, right? But then the last paragraph, we got to some fantasy, something that could not be real. So we know if we read a book like that, that it's a fantasy book. Number 1, which sentence in the passage first shows that the story is make-believe? and he liked to chase everything that moved. The cat used his toes to count. One night, Professor sat on Rosa's desk. With a proud meow, Professor picked up a pencil. Which sentence in the first passage shows, which sentence in the passage first shows that he's make-believe? So I see two make-believe things here, don't I? But you're going to have to go back to the passage to see which one comes first. It looks like he picked up a pencil first before he counted on his toes, doesn't it? Number 2, which of these things can happen? A cat can like a girl. B, a cat can do homework. C, a cat can count on its toes. D, a cat can smile. Number 3, why is Professor a good name for Rosa's cat? He has gray and black stripes. He is really smart. He actually is a statue. He chases things that move. Number 4, what in the story is make-believe? A, the cat sits on a bedroom desk. B, the girl is too tired to do her homework. C, the cat reads a homework paper. D, the girl rubs her eyes when she is tired. Tell a partner what you would have Professor do for you.